Way with the kickoff taken by Nick Savetta, USA in blue. The Oaks of Romania in their customary yellow. This promises to be a hugely physical game, and Justin, we're going to see a lot of big clashes here.
Yes, both teams very strong in the pack. Expect the U.S. and Romania to clash with that forward row many times throughout this contest.
Well, the box kick, and Romania has retained. Good chase from the USA, and Romania now resetting. Sergiu with the box kick right back. Testing Brocchi, Marcel Brocchi, back from injury and in at fullback. He's kind of isolated. Referee is happy with it. Taufete'e, they're going to be using him a lot to clear out from Mullen. You see that physical battle over the ball there. De Haas now with the box kick. Well taken by Dumitru. USA has pinched it though. The chase is on and they've taken it illegally. Referee says diving onto the ball and an illegal poach. So a bit of a let off and Romania gets the first penalty. Touch finder by Florin Sergiu.
Just here, please. Just here. Hold that mark. Step out the line.
And it'll be a line out for Romania right around midfield.
Hold that space.
Last time these two teams met, it was a 23-10 Romanian victory. Only the second victory by Romania in the long history between these two teams. We'll talk about that history in a little bit. Line out. Well taken. Oaks on the attack. USA up quickly. And a misdirection, change in direction by Romania. And the offload there.
No.
Cam Dolan was there to make the tackle. Sergiu passes it out. Big hit there. Drenciano going into contact. Sergiu, well, he's partially blocked by Peterson. Taufete'e has it. De Haas now getting it out through the hands. Paul Lasike, well, you saw his eyes light up. And the USA on the front foot now. Taufete'e again hit hard around the knees by Gordash. And De Haas spots no one back at home on the right side for Romania. Pops it in, the chase is there. And a tackle by Tony Lamborn.
Lost now.
USA pressuring inside the 22. Romania has it. So far been a little bit of a kicking contest. Sergiu just sort of rolling it back. Setting up that box kick again. Trying to get a little bit more height this time. And under it. Now Brocchi. Brocchi looking to go himself. CK over it. De Haas. Well, he's a bit slow picking that ball up and a little bit lucky because he might have knocked that forward. But in the end, I think we're going to go back with a knock forward by Romania and the first scrum of the contest.
Yeah. Ball lifted, no issue with that. Knock on. Here's your mark then, lads. Can you come?
One of the Romanian coaches, Thomas Livremont, longtime star for France, looking on here. A bit of negotiation in the pack down, as there often is at the beginning.
18 seconds. Crouch. Bind.
Well, they've tested him a couple of times, that's for sure.
Okay, we're probably too far away. Make sure he has a chance to get his bind.
Big negotiation. Both of these teams wanting to establish something as Gary Gold looks on. He's worked hard to get this team to scrum better, and they have. Romania prides themselves on being tough in the scrum.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
And it'll be a Free kick against the United States. You heard Cam Dolan just yell, "Oh, come on." And there, USA was penalized for coming in through the mark, basically engaging early. Well, the kick doesn't go to touch. Free kick, it was sort of a high ball.
Not now.
Quill.
Not now. Second bite.
Quill going into contact. Taufete'e again. USA just using the hooker to try and gain a little bit of go forward. Back it comes to Brache now. Pops it off to Lamasatelli. The big prop who plays at Saracens. He makes some ground. Out quickly, USA. Couple of quick passes. De Haas to Dolan. Dolan all on his own. Taken down. USA again retains. And De Haas kicking for the chase. Bryce Campbell there a little bit on the chase, but that was about it, and it'll be a kick back to touch. Not much of a change in territory, and the USA will get their line out.
Time off. This will be your mark. We just got time off for him.
TT Lamasatelli getting a little bit of attention.
Yeah, sure. It's just that. Too much
Fans here in Bucharest. They take their rugby seriously. They've been doing this for a long time, and in fact, this game is the Pershing Cup. It's named after General John J. Pershing, a United States general who is also a hero to the Romanian people. As we will check in on that piece of news in a second. These two teams actually played, so they say, legend has it, 1919 as part of a military games to celebrate the end of World War I. That game was a United States victory, 1919. They played again in the 1924 Olympics, also a United States victory. And 4 other victories for the USA, whereas Romania won in the 1999 World Cup and the last time they met. But it is almost 100 years since they first met on the rugby field.
Yes, and your USA Rugby obviously look back to those glory days of the Olympics, back when the Pool 15 was being played. Babe Slater, 1924, to the United States. Like you mentioned before, that 39-0 victory over Romania. So a long historical battle.
Okay. On the front man there, don't step in,
And we'll see at fly half, Will McGee has actually come in. He is the starting fly half. The original starter was Will Hooley, the hero from last week. Lasike goes in, but he's been a late scratch. We've had that happen 3 games in a row now that USA has had a starting lineup that hasn't actually taken the field. Lasike goes into contact, knocks it forward.
But it really hasn't affected the
Had no impact at all.
This whole team, the entire 23, has really good chemistry. Love the way that Lasike runs.
Let's go, please, Mark's here.
And there's another absent player we'd like to see on the field. Samu Manoa is on the bench watching. A lot of talk about, or speculation, that he's injured and he doesn't exactly look, he's with the team, but he's not playing, and if he were healthy, he'd be on the field.
Set.
Suruju ready to put it in. This is the first scrum that's actually become a scrum. Big drive from Romania. That looked good for the Oaks. Chirica with the 8-man pick. And then Fonovai, the inside center. And a tackle there out on the wing, and you could hear, take him out, take him out. Lamborn and Quill combined to push that ball carrier into touch.
9.
This is something I'd really like to have seen.
The next time your voice is raised and I think it's towards me, I'm going to penalise you.
Sure-handed tackling, and very smart move there to take him into touch, and now it's USA ball.
Stay there. Guys, not across. Straight up,
Well,
straight
the
down.
USA now getting a line out right around midfield. Taufete'e, so many options for him.
That's fine, initial sack legal. Play away now, play away.
And out it comes to Lasike. Dug out by De Haas. And slow ball being slowed by Romania, and that'll be a penalty advantage for the USA. He out to Campbell. Haven't seen him with a good head of steam in a while. And that one looks like forward. That was actually about 1.5 yards forward, and I don't know if we're going to go back for the advantage. We hadn't heard advantage off.
That pass there
Just
is
a
forward.
little bit of a
First penalty
misconnection,
for
but we'll
Auckland.
go back to the penalty. And here comes that forward pass. And Justin, this is the sort of thing we don't really need to see here, an execution error like that.
No, they've been
The
a little
line's yours,
sloppy, to
fellas.
say the least, when
Line.
it comes to handing off the ball, try and get it out wide from that forward pack. I really feel that the U.S. needs to try to establish more dominance within that forward road. Let Tau Fatete go wild with the ball. He's been superb scoring tries for them here in 2018.
Well taken by Peterson. USA sets up the maul, but then they split her off. And again, Quill and Lamborn together. And Lasike offloads Lamborn, Savetta, and suddenly the USA knocking on the door. DeHaas, he fakes it, goes inside, and that is a try for the USA. Ruben DeHaas, the youngest guy on the field, makes a veteran move and takes that gap.
Good call, clearly offside there as well. Thank you.
And we see that run from Paul Lasike was the one that sort of was the catalyst here.
Every time I get the ball,
This is exactly what they had to do. They were trying to keep it out wide.
we just had an
Technique
advantage for
wasn't
offside there,
good
and then we
enough
just
to
gave a rolling away
maintain
tackle
possession
there.
out there.
So we're
but
probably
this is
dealing
what
with
the
it.
Americans have done
But
all
we'll
season
keep an eye
long.
on it.
In 2018.
Fair enough, and that's
Keep
why
it
you've had that in
inside,
that
run with reckless abandon, make meters, and ultimately get over the try line.
The offload from Lasike, Lamborn there, and then you see that clear out from Campbell and Quill, and the fake cut back inside. Two big gaps on the inside, as you said, Justin. The holes might be there on the inside. Ruben DeHaas, I think that is his second try for the USA. Big smile from Blaine Scully, who still has the cotton shoved up his nose from the bloody bang he got last week, which took him out of the game around halftime. Will McGee with the kick. And it's just a little bit away. And so here we are, 11 minutes into the game already. USA takes a 5-0 lead.
Been impressed with what I've seen from the forward pack. It's been good play coming from Cam Dolan and Ruben DeHaas. I see him change the passage.
Deep kick, and Savannah takes it.
Wait.
We'll go for that box kick. Romania's ready for it. Chase is there. Dolan and Scully make the tackle. Suruju digs it out. Looking to work with Ply, the fly half.
Advantage, high.
Adrian Yon was the one who suffered that high tackle.
High.
And I think that was Tony
That pass there
Lamborn.
is forward. First one side tackle.
A very, very specific call from the referee, just saying, no, high, not a big lecture, just there, just around the neck a little bit.
Now the game has been flowing
That's why it's
quite
just a
nicely
penalty.
for the most part. But let's see if we can actually get our first scrum in the game here.
Here you go, boys. This is you.
Well, it's okay. They've gone for the line out.
I'll make sure they give it with plenty of time. 5 called.
USA has been moderately successful in disrupting lineouts.
Yeah.
And really what they do is they tend to force the opposing hooker to throw a little high, a little off center. That one's good for Romania. Yawn going in against Lamborn once again. USA creeping so close to that line. Quick hands out. Melinte. Full back. Back with Drenchano. Romania looking strong. Fonovai. And hands out again. They have numbers on the right side. They may not be the fastest ones, but that's going to be a breakthrough. The offload, that could be a try for Romania. And a superb answer as Ionel Melinte, the fullback, goes in. But Justin, there were about 5 or 6 players on the outside there when they went back. All kinds of numbers.
Yeah, you'll see it right here on the replay. Just good passing by the Romanians, able to spring them wide open on the outside. And after that, beautiful dummy right there. And after that, it was all wide open for the Romanians to get the response. And now we're all tied at 5.
Nice pink boots there from Melinte as well.
Did you ever think that we would get away from the all black boots? And we were all wearing those not just too long
Well,
ago.
yeah, it used to be pretty standard, and then, you know, one person gets them, and then somebody else wants them, and pretty soon we have neon pink boots everywhere.
I used to wear the white boots, and the lads used to make fun of me.
Well, there. Yes, you see that. If you're shaking up the status quo, that's one thing. But here now it becomes a bit of a statement. And Danielle Ply, fly half, getting ready to kick this one kind of far out on the right side.
He has converted twice already for this Romanian side this year.
Almost perfect silence in the stadium for this kick. Nice and high, but he pulls it across the front. It'll stay 5-5. Exactly what we expected, which was a tight battle. It's been a little bit more on the outside, but you see there is Badu, experienced prop, draws a man, drops it off to Furku, the most experienced player on the field with over 100 caps.
The range of experience for Romania really does vary wildly. As some players, this is just their second cap, and like we mentioned, like Furku, this is his 105th cap.
Take him back.
Romania kicks it through. He's taken back into the 22. That's why he didn't go for touch. Brockie now. As Justin, as you said, hoping to run it a little bit now that he's back from injury. Quill goes into contact. Lamsatelli. USA just sending one person over there. There's Blaine Scully now. Ball juggled by Marcel Brockie. And he gathered it, but then decided to just throw a no-look pass for not any real discernible reason, and it'll be a knock-on, although the ball went into touch, so it's up to the team that didn't offend to choose whether they want the scrum or the lineup. They're taking the lineup.
This is for you.
I've been really surprised that they've shied away from the
Numbers
scrum.
then, please, lads,
That is
for these
just
guys.
The bread and butter when it comes to Romania has been that pack. But they have been a little apprehensive to square off against the Eagles.
Stolen by Dolan. Taufetee comes back and gets it. Well done by him. Lamborn, McGee, Brockie now. Back inside. Had some players outside him. Cooler heads prevail, and Will McGee sending it deep. It's been part of an issue for the USA, though, is their chase on the kick.
Advantage.
And there's going to be a penalty for a late hit on Greg Peterson.
Bit to shouldering.
Ionel Melinte took the kick and then took the hit right after. His shoulder into Melinte, who perhaps sold it a little bit. Let's have another look. Well, yeah.
It's a little 50-50, but I have to admit, maybe Oscar-worthy, maybe Golden.
It seemed like Peterson was looking at what he was doing and knew exactly what he was doing. And so perhaps it's certainly a warranted penalty, I think, and Romania will now go for the line out, and they'll take a line out right around the 22-meter line.
Yeah, that's just on the edge. It's fine, it's fine.
Full 7. Talk to me. What do you want? 7. Outfield.
Radoy throws it in. Quickly going wide. Looking to use Fonovai. there to start with. The big forwards this
Release
time.
now. Good work.
The inside pass. That was Jon.
Looks like Romania just wants to drill this right through on the short side. Now they're going to try to open up wide here. Only saying about a couple of passes.
Jon goes in, and now the back inside again, and met with interest by Lamasatelli. And there's the penalty. Lamasatelli with the hit.
On the floor to try and hold the ball.
And I think it might have been John Quill over the ball. And an isolated ball carrier will get you a penalty if you have someone poaching it every time. And Justin, certainly a let-off for the USA.
Yes, definitely. As they were able to get away from...
7. I'm seeing everything you're seeing, but I can't have you screaming at me about it all. Okay, we're always considering it. No, I'm telling you are, so you need to stop, okay? Okay, great there, front man then.
Taufete'e up. One well by the USA. Lasike breaks through 1-2. Carries 2 more with him. Taufete'e just slammed into. And that was Fonovai who made the tackle. Scully now sells a dummy, goes in. This is better from the USA, a little bit more structured. Lamasatelli, we've seen him carry the ball more than he usually does. Taufete'e looking to offload, no one there. The Haas just gets away from trouble at McGee. Well, he doesn't like that. He saw Badu, and that'll be a penalty against Romania, coming in offside.
Off feet and in the side.
And in from the side and off their feet, so 2 penalties to 1. Referee Craig Maxwell Keys, the Englishman. Looks very young, doesn't he? But he's already calmly set the tone.
The second thing I'm going to say, I hear what you're saying, but if you react, I'll just reverse it. You've already been rewarded. Here you go, lads.
Paul Mullen, John Quill, relishing that struggle. Everybody negotiating in the line out, and a really good attacking opportunity for the USA. Savetta takes it. New hairdo for the Notre Dame grad. And the maul. Taufete'e has it at the back. This is a good situation for the USA, and they're just crabbing inside a little bit.
Same maul, same maul. Defenders still attached.
Samoa able to use that ruck,
Okay,
all the way
once,
to the
9.
5-meter line,
Once.
and let Taufete'e decide when he wants to take the ball and go.
DeHaas now going out to Lasike. Lasike dishes to Bryce Campbell, who is held up.
Tackle, release, tackle.
But now it's called a tackle by the referee. DeHaas out to Peterson. McGee looking for someone to offload to, didn't have anyone, ended up having to take it himself. Savetta not really getting anywhere right now. USA, Taufete'e. Well, they sent 3 players in to stop him. Quill back inside. Badu just nails him.
There's a knock on in the tackle over here.
And you see it taking players a while to get back off the ground. All kinds of shenanigans there.
Cheers, Brandon. Thank you.
As the ruck ends and the ball goes away and the referee's attention goes away.
Muddy field conditions also playing a little bit of a factor here today. Alex, as you can see, everybody covered up in the mud, making for a slower game. Probably to the disadvantage of the Eagles, honestly.
Well, they know what to expect. This has always been
Time off.
a huge clash, and we are going 1-off forward, big bash, 1-off forward, big bash, quite a bit here in Bucharest.
Here we go.
Okay, ready, lads, let's go.
Wonder when Romania will come over
Here's
to
your mark.
the United States. They'll give a chance to play the Eagles on home.
Well, we've never seen them play in the United States. We've seen them in Bucharest, and we've seen them in neutral territory, 3 times in neutral territory. This is a good situation for the USA if they can hold this scrum.
Bind. Set.
Dino Waldron there in the corner just studying this, seeing what he can expect when he comes on. To Haas now has it. Good scrum for the USA. And Bryce Campbell gets the dish from Lasike, reaches over. That's a try, and that's beautifully constructed by the USA, using Lasike to gather that attention and then dish it off. And Bryce Campbell just reaches over and touches it down.
Lasike, though, he gets all the credit for that try. Just making it happen. Beautiful creativity, not afraid to offload and take the contact. And then you see Campbell touching it down for his 6th try in 2018.
Bryce Campbell, who was the Rudy Schulze winner in the 2016-17 season from University of Indiana as the top collegiate player in the country. McGee with the kick. 24 minutes in, and it is 12-5 USA, a big one for the Eagles. And really, Justin, it was about making that attacking opportunity come away with points.
Exactly, making it count. They were able to get good field position, use the penalty. We finally got our first scrum down completed of the afternoon, and the Americans were able to utilize it. Lasike making a beautiful offload pass for Campbell to get the try. Beautiful execution by the Americans.
Deep kick from Romania. Quill goes in. And now Greg Peterson plays with Glasgow Warriors.
Wait.
And if you're watching this in South America, or in parts of Europe, you can actually see Flow Rugby's coverage of the Glasgow Warriors in the Pro 14. A good chase from the USA. They've held up the ball carrier, and that's Lamborn and Dolan. And it's stolen by Lamborn, and he just pops it off to Taufete'e. Savetta, Scully, well, he's all alone and does very well to just buy himself some time. USA made that kick count. McGee now dropping it off. Lamasatelli, Washington State product. And the kick ahead, there's the chase for Lasike. The ball bouncing all over the place. Problems for Romania,
Advantage.
All kinds of trouble. Malinte had it, fell onto it, wouldn't let go, and it's going to be a penalty against Romania. Brockie looking to get a quick tap and then smiling because he knows he really doesn't have any time.
Let's take a look here on the replay. Again, the field conditions muddy, choppy, and making it very difficult to handle the ball. And the Americans, once again, the Eagles will have good field position to work with.
Line jaws.
Punching another try here.
Ryan Mattias trying to take that ball. He ends up lifting Malinte right up off the ground.
His WWE style there.
Didn't know he had the strength. Well taken by the USA. There goes the drive. Right at the line. Did they get it down? Referee Maxwell Keys says can't see. Held up very quickly. Doesn't dilly-dally around.
No need, I can see.
It's always with that
Yeah, there is. He's always checking stuff. Yeah.
Touch that ball down right in the try zone, but Romania, again, you have to remember, this is a team that would be going to the Rugby World Cup if it wasn't for the illegal player that they were using.
Let's go, boys, please.
But very smart, veteran Latin team.
Held up. Scrum.
Utilizing touch there.
You would have been in there easy.
Yonel Badu that brought forward, who plays for Romains,
Let's go. Get your seconds
was
in there, boys.
right under that ball, went straight for that ball, but it'll be a scrum for the USA. Well, weren't we here just a few minutes ago? 3 minutes ago, in fact. And USA scored a try from that, went straight to Lasike. Great little segment from Peter Malcolm on Flow Rugby about that. And there's a free kick for the USA. And they're going to ask for a scrum once more.
When they're not comfortable, they're just fucking letting off, right? We're going to go again.
Okay, scrum again.
Apologies for any impassioned words you might hear, but
Here's your mark.
Cam Dolan saying when they're not comfortable, we're letting off, we're not taking it to them. And I think that that's a nice message to the USA tight five to just make them pay.
Very true, but
Crouch.
the guys in the truck with the production, great audio clearance that you hear all
Bind.
You're on plug.
Set.
And drive from USA.
Advantage.
Advantage again. Lusike, straight to Lusike a second time. He went himself this time. DeHaas back out to McGee. McGee's going to kick wide. There is a penalty advantage. Scully up and down. What's the call?
Going back.
Blaine Scully isn't quite happy with what happened. He's looking for a call.
Loose head to ground.
Let's have a look on this replay. He caught it.
Loose head to floor. Time off.
And he's hit in the air, and I think that his concern is that he's was hit in the air. But that option from McGee,
Definitely unexpected, wouldn't you say, Ruben?
Say that again, Andy.
if he had kept it in field a little bit more,
Andy, say that
like
again.
Blaine Scully's chances, he's good with the ball in the air, and he's used to it. Plays at Cardiff, played at Leicester. They like to make that play, that kick to
Okay,
the
time
corner
off
there, so he can handle it. He's scored
Andy,
tries
we're
like
coming
that
to you.
before. And while we see
The
an
AR's
injury
reported a,
being taken
tackle
care
in
of
the
for the inside center
on,
Tangimana Fonoval,
the USA
who plays
player,
for
so we're checking
CSM
tackle in the air.
Bucuresti.
Is there foul play? And then we're
Tongan
checking probable
Romanian
try or no
player.
try as well.
We're going to go check on this and look at the TMO. What they're checking for here is
Yes,
whether
please.
there was foul play and also whether there was a try. Well, there is. The question is, could that be a penalty try if that's foul play? But I think the ball was in touch when Scully had it, so it's kind
from
of
what I
difficult
saw of it,
to say
he's
they were
probably
going to
in a
score.
position where he could have made a legal tackle and potentially got under the ball, isn't he? So, yeah, so what I'm thinking on what we've seen, if there's a tackle in the air that close to the goal line, we're talking yellow card. But the fact that he's in a position where he could have defended the ball, either getting underneath it or making a legal tackle, if he just got his timing right, then we can't get penalty try for that reason. Is that what you're thinking? So we'll wait and see what Andy comes back with.
Very interesting discussion there,
Probably
referee
not.
Maxwell Keys,
I'll tell you why in a second.
saying that he doesn't think it's a likely penalty try because while Scully was hit in the air, it was an opportunity for Malenti perhaps to defend that, and it really was just poor timing. Maybe a yellow card, maybe a penalty, but not a penalty try. What do you think, Justin?
It's difficult to say because you can also make the argument that Scully was already going into touch on the actual jump himself and he took himself out of the play.
Andy, still checking?
But the one thing I do enjoy
just
about
checking,
the
just stand
sport of
by.
rugby is that they have the best replay system in all the sports. So we know for sure that this call will be correct.
Well, the argument is perhaps if he had not been hit in the air, could Scully, as he was falling, reached out and just touched the ball down? His body can be in the air in touch. He's not in touch. Was he pushed out? And then you can see that the TMO,
But
who's,
if you go further back to the
and we're
angle
listening
that
to
we
their,
had previously,
that's Andrew McMenemy from Scotland, and you can see that how he's looking at it right now. He's asking for a couple of extra replays. This is kind of a big call here, although the USA will have a penalty regardless. It's just a case of whether this is a penalty try or not. Blaine Scully thinks it is.
Definitely so. I mean, he worked really hard to get in good position. I sometimes
Okay,
make a
that's fair.
knock
I'll
on
go a decision on
the
that,
Eagles that
please.
sometimes they lack creativity with the ball, but
okay, Christoph.
everybody.
Yeah, Andrew, I've got you.
would agree.
From the images I've got in the truck, the blue player does jump to catch the ball.
Yeah.
However, looking at his actions, I think he would have landed outside the field of play.
Okay.
Now, he was tackled in the air. However,
Yeah.
I cannot confirm that there would be enough to give a penalty try for that.
Okay, so look, if we're saying he's going to land outside the field
Clarity
of play,
from the
then
TMO and
we're not even
McMenemy.
talking yellow card here. We're talking maximum penalty only, and they'll get the option for the penalty from the scrum as well. And I'll speak to both teams about about what we've come to. You happy with that?
Yeah, I'm happy with that. It is a real 50-50 as to where he's going to land. So.
Well, just you can't assume
yes, it's a tackle in the air.
an astounding
so you're have the option of a penalty there, or
athletic
the
play.
scrum.
The idea that Scully can
it's
catch
no
the
more
ball
than a
and
penalty
reverse his
because you're
body
actually
and
going to
touch
land in
it
touch
down.
anyway when
I
you
don't
pull
think
the
you can
ball.
assume that.
Okay, so it's a penalty choice for them, there or there. Which one do you want? Okay, scrum penalty is decided. Do you want to take a scrum from it?
Because it didn't seem like he was going to be able to land inbounds in order to make a
Scrum chosen.
So after all that, we go back to the original penalty, which was a penalty at the scrum, which USA is getting now, which is quite encouraging for fans of the USA scrum. And Blaine Scully asked his pack, do you want to go back for a scrum from that? And they said yes, so
yes, it is.
back
This
they
is
go for another scrum. This is something we haven't seen. We usually see the USA on the other end of this, which is giving up scrum penalties near their try line, eventually a yellow card, eventually a penalty try, something like that. And I think that the USA want a little payback over after the years of penalty tries to see if they can get something. There's the drive, but Romania's done well to shove it back. Lasique, once again they go in. Vi there with the tackle. Peterson. Six of him. Slow ball coming out. Dolan. Well taken down. An advantage against Romania once more. And we're going to go with a penalty. Offside against Romania. And we may be getting a warning.
Too many penalties in this area. Okay, the next one is going to go to the bin. Okay?
And that is your captain getting the talk, Adrian Motzok. He's 22 years old, plays for Agen in France. And so we have players who are well into their 30s, been around for well over 10 years. But the coaching staff in Romania picked a 22-year-old to captain this squad.
It seems like he's going to have a really bright future for Romania as they look to get back into prominence. Again, missing out on this upcoming World Cup, but with the way that they play, especially with those young guys coming through, it looks like they'll be ready for the next one.
And they took the line out this time. Taufete'e getting a signal from Nick Savetta, and they're going to go to the back. Cam Dolan down cleanly. Romania has to be careful, but no, in the end, it's going to be a penalty against the USA. Obstruction, which means that someone in front of the ball was not bound on. And a let-off for Romania after all that, and it seemed like a try was just on a silver platter. Let's see if we can see what the penalty is for, and that would be Paul Mullen, it looks like, up front there, wasn't really bound on.
I felt Badu was trying to bring down the ruck or bring down the maul for a second, but he cleared out.
They're too far ahead of the ball, lads. Lads, you've got to work harder to get in a better position. Okay. But they did. But they did.
A little negotiation between the referee and Cam Dolan about how that works. But you're right that Badu was in danger of bringing down the maul. In the end, he managed to get out of it. Did well. Veteran move. Line out for Romania then. Ball lost on the Romanian side.
Hold that.
Yawn. And looking to kick it now is Ply. Sends it deep for Scully. Scully and Brocky. Brocky, oh, just a little nudge down to the corner.
Now on.
Well taken, though, by Ply. Kicked back. And De Haas getting back into the fullback position. Bit of a hospital pass there for Ryan Mattias. Well, he gets out of trouble, does very well, as it was man and ball.
Wait. Now on.
Tackle there to hold up.
And back again with the kicks. Looking to try and find someone all alone. Brocky now.
Hold now, Blue.
Not really
Blue,
a great kick, a line drive. Everybody seems to be offside. And maybe not the best option from Sergiu, but McGee is in trouble.
Let go now.
USA pinned back in their line.
Hold that.
Storming in is Romania. And the USA, who were just a couple of meters away from scoring, now a couple of meters away from their own line. Mullen.
Off the ball now, Yellow. Good work.
Counter ruck from Romania.
Off feet.
Well, the referee is not going to like it because The counter ruck may have been good, but they then dove onto the ball, and it'll be a penalty for the USA and a little bit of breathing room.
Yes, I want to say this Romanian side has been quite cagey. Lots of professional fouls, so to speak. It's kind of messing with the Eagles' flow at the moment. You see good clearance there, but then
What time have we got, Andy?
Down on the ground. And consistency from the referee. And the USA and Romania trying to find some holes at the back, kicking over the top. Both teams a little bit fortunate not to get offside on the kick penalties. Well taken there by Savetta, and he is dragged down before he lands on the ground, so that'll be another penalty against Romania. And it's the Romanians this time giving away good attacking positions and good pressure positions with penalties and poor decisions.
No, I didn't know that, that's fine.
Well, this kick doesn't make touch. That's a miss for the USA. Fonovai now sending it wide. Romania, they actually did well moving that ball. Fonovai, the ball ripped loose. De Haas has it for the USA. Could he go for another? He's got Scully with him. Blaine Scully, the captain, in at the corner, and just like that, try for the USA in the corner.
He's all right, he's all right. Relax, relax.
All from that turnover in midfield.
Okay, time off.
well, Scully didn't
Andy,
get the
my
try
on-field
last
decision
time
is try.
down this
I
side
just
of the
want to
pitch.
check how the ball was turned over in midfield,
Well,
please.
they're going to go back to that turnover
on-field decisions,
because
try.
the player
You
was
want to
held
check
up
how the
and
ball
then
was
they
turned
called
over.
it a tackle. Was it ripped out correctly, or should they have let go? Cam Dolan's smiling ruefully. It's like, I think I'm going to take this one away from us.
I mean, it was a clean counterattack by the Eagles. And Alex, I know we haven't seen the replay just yet, but from what I recall seeing is that the man in possession was on the way down, but he wasn't established down yet.
Yeah.
I felt that the ball had
checking down.
popped out,
No
and
problem.
then it was poached by the Eagles on a great counterattack, and Scully scored.
Well, we're going to go back to the TMO. It's only 12-5, remember. It seems like the USA has been knocking on the door for the last 15 minutes or so. Well, here comes, that ball was ripped out by Quill. And there goes De Haas, but it's not in question is that attack. De Haas was fine. His pass to Scully, Scully's touchdown, all of that seemed to be accepted. It is this point right here. There's John Quill and Cam Dolan. And right there, I think they're going to call that back. I have a feeling they're going to say that that was a tackle when Quill
Just
ripped the
right
ball
back
out.
again.
They are taking
And
a
stop
long
from
look
there.
at it.
And play through.
But this one seems less 50-50 than the last one.
Once you're tackled there, you have to release. And it's in slow motion, remember.
Christoph,
Yep.
I have a decision for you. However, I've also got foul play by yellow.
Okay. So, firstly, do you want to deal with the foul play first, or you can tell me the outcome of try or no try and then deal with foul play after?
Yeah, so the outcome will be no try due
Okay.
to an illegal rip while the blue player's off his feet.
Okay, and what foul play are we dealing with?
The yellow ball carrier leading into the tackle leads with a forearm
Yep,
away from his body
yep,
and makes contact with the shoulder line of the blue player.
okay. So, is there any actual contact to the neck?
I don't have compelling evidence. Stand by. Can I get blue, please?
Okay. What we're checking now is it's going to be no try,
Well,
but we're checking for a
it does seem
forearm
like just in
by
that he
yellow
was down
player
on the ground.
in midfield, so
And
we're just having a look.
John Quill had not released the ball carrier, nor had he gotten to his feet when he ripped the ball out. And it's in slow motion, but in real time you can see how quickly it goes.
It's going to be no try,
But
but
they're
we're
also
checking foul
discussing
play by yellow, leading with a
an
forearm.
illegal fend
just let them
leading
know?
with a shoulder,
Yeah, so
with
we-
an elbow,
Okay,
which
Christoph.
Yeah,
seems to
Andy.
me to be
So I've got
a
yellow
little
12,
bit harsh
yeah,
on
leading into
Romania.
the
That seems to
contact
be
with a forearm.
more how
Yeah.
you're supposed
It
to
makes
go into contact.
above the shoulder line, and there is contact to the neck.
Okay, and are we talking low, medium force?
Little little things here and there.
It would be low.
Okay.
Low to medium.
So are we talking penalty only then from what you're describing to the shoulder, low force?
I would probably recommend a yellow card.
Okay,
for
yellow
his action.
card,
And
because you
that's
think there's
against-
medium force.
And
No
that's
problem.
against yellow 12.
Number 12. Okay, number 12, please.
Have a tighter eye on the
12.
in the second half.
Well, there's going to be a
TMO
yellow
is
card on
referred
this
you
and a
for
penalty.
foul play,
But I'll tell you what,
leading with the forearm,
once they got the
contact to the
turnover,
shoulder,
USA
it's medium
executed
force,
that
that's
very
just a
well.
yellow
You
card.
saw 4 players on the counter. De Haas
And
not
the mark,
waiting until the
please.
last second to dish it off. Passing off to
because it's
Scully
an illegal written
for the disallowed try in the corner. Tangimana Fonavai has
Yep.
got to think himself harshly dealt with at this
perfect,
point,
thank
but
you.
he is off with a yellow card at just about 35 minutes. So about 5 minutes left in
there's
this
no
first
try
half.
because it was an illegal
Romania
written.
will be shorthanded and for the first few minutes of the second half as well. USA, can they make this pay off for them right before halftime? And they've shown the last few games a strange habit of scoring before halftime and then giving up a bad try at the beginning of the second half. Let's see how they handle it this time. Lambourne, Lasike now coming in on an aggressive line. Back to Taufatee. Everyone calling their number there. Quill
No, no.
taken down quickly. Lambourne again gets the inside pass from McGee.
See that?
They yell patience. Not rushing it, they got plenty of time. Taufatee again. Out to Lamasatelli. He's driven back by Van. Lasike out to Scully. Can Scully finally get that try? 2 of them disallowed so far this first half.
No.
And a knock forward in the end. And there's been some discussion about interfering with the scrum half, and that's a penalty, but at the same time, well, that one was just a mistake.
I'll check.
Lost the handle, and Justin, you've been talking about that muddy conditions.
Exactly where I was going, Alex. If anything, that was more because of the pitch, more so than because it was Romania. We saw Scully slip up first, and then the scrum half.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. Here's your mark.
The caking of the mud on the cleats, you know, that's old school. In these days of well-manicured fields and artificial surfaces, this is a little bit more of an old-time rugby pitch. And remember, it's November in Eastern Europe, so it's not exactly going to be warm and dry.
Makes for great aesthetics.
Set.
Actually playing it, it's very difficult.
USA doesn't
much
get
movement.
down,
It's the
doesn't
second
pack
one.
down
We've got 3
properly.
kicks
They're
penalty.
penalized, and they've given away a big scoring chance. So many chances given up so far or lost in this first half.
I agree, Alex. The last 2 times they were down on the Romanian side of the pitch, they were just.
It's because he's
right
putting
off
his
the
head on
five-meter
his
line, just
shoulder and he's
outside
trying
the
to
try
pop
line,
it and then he's got it wrong.
ultimately
So
unable to convert a
2.
try.
Oh no. It's because you got your head there and popped the wrong way.
Personally, I would have liked to have seen more pick and pop to try to keep it with that forward path.
Well, that's stolen again by Cam Dolan. USA has it again. Lasike. Well, I thought he lost it forward, but I think that was his boot. No, he did lose it forward, and he lost his shoe. Somebody lost their shoe.
Here's Lasike.
Thank you. 2
Worked so
minutes to go,
hard.
lads. 2 minutes.
Foot popped right out of the shoe.
Giving back, but everyone checking their cleats. You see that mud caking in, but Lasike going through, and it just knocked out. Well done there by Vladuts Zaharia, the right wing, to just loosen that ball enough. And I think, Justin, as you've been talking about the conditions, that's going to be an issue too, is the idea of, can you do just a little thing to jar that ball loose?
I know nobody ever wants to hear any glory days stories, but back when I played for A&M, we beat UT. It was on a very many day like this, and it was, I just recalled.
Can you get the
this
names,
instant
please?
As soon as I saw the
Crouch.
conditions for this game.
Bind.
Those moments where really it's
Set.
you don't want to get too loose with the ball. And now we're very low, and it's going to be a penalty against the USA for going in too low. Taufete'e looking a bit frustrated on how he is packing down. And so from scrum dominance, the USA is going into giving up penalties.
Taufete'e, one of those players I was really looking forward to seeing more of explosion from him here in the first half, but he's been rather quiet for the Eagles.
That ball does not make touch. Mattias. Oh, and a nice sidestep and clearance kick. And that works out very well for the USA. Ultimately, a line out for Romania, but at midfield. Ball a little souvenir in the crowd. Missing touch on those kicks. It's a crime. It's a rugby crime when you have the chance to set up that line out deep in the opposing end and you don't get touch. You have these pre-line out huddles. And we saw last week that Samoa was given quite the lecture about not delaying the line out. Romania doesn't care. They're doing the same thing. Dolan almost stole it this time, but Romania has it. They've set up the maul. What can they do with this?
Keep it up, keep it up.
It's at the back there for Radoy, the hooker. Now working it back with Jon. It's splintered off. Who has it? Where's that ball?
Still the same maul, that's once. Keep it up, keep it up.
Just inching
Use
their way
nine,
forward
nine, use
is
it.
Romania. The ball has come out. Tackle made by McGee. And Dolan went right over, and no one was there. They were still tied up in the maul, excuse me.
No, thank you, please.
And isolated, gets a penalty for the USA.
If you tap and kick it out, that's time. Fair enough.
We're actually going to be saying this is the last play of the first half. And USA is still saying we're still playing. So the penalty, you kick to touch, you get that line out, and if you heard the referee, he says if you tap it and kick it out, that's full time or half time. So he doesn't tap it first,
Guys,
he just kicks straight to touch.
Not in front of the catcher.
So one more chance for the USA. Savetta in the maul there, and once again we see Badu fall on the ground. Accidentally on purpose. The drive from the USA now. They might be happy to just get a kickable penalty at this moment, but the drive is still there. Savetta has it at the back, works it back to Quill. This is an excellent drive from the USA, but they've been stalled now, and that will be a penalty. Collapsing the ball. DeHaas. DeHaas fakes it, dishes it off to Mullen. Scully. And Scully unable to make the handle, but we will go back to a penalty, I think. Collapsing the maul, and most likely they're going to go for posts and go into the locker room for halftime.
This is the way that Romania has played all day, though. Just little penalties like this, taking the Eagles out of the game, but beautiful moves there by DeHaas.
Okay, great there. Lads, keep it up.
Scully, unlucky.
Mullen trying to use the basketball pass to free Scully, the former water polo player. And they've gone for the line out. They have not gone for
Initial
posts.
sack legal.
And with the man advantage, maybe that's the way to go. Taufete'e now has it, staying in the maul. He could have broken off, but he's chosen not to. DeHaas wants it. Taufete'e has it. Still fighting for it.
I expect Taufete'e to let go of this ball. He wants this try.
Going to the line now. And can they get it down? And no, that will be halted, and that will be the end of the first half. Blaine Scully not happy with that, but that will be it. That will be a first half where the USA spent a majority of the time in the Romanian 22. It is only 12-5. It could very well have been something like 24-5, but it's not. And Justin Simmons, do the USA go in frustrated or do they go in feeling confident they can do more?
Like you just said, they could have come away with more points here in this first half of play. There's going to be a little frustration. A part of that is the way that Romania has played them. Lots of professional fouls, so to speak, that has hold up the play for the Eagles and probably got into their heads a little bit. But the Eagles have been able to establish a good forward pack, good momentum. I expect them to be able to come out of the second half and finish off with that.
We had a try from Ruben de Haas, answered very quickly with a try by Ionel Malinte for Romania, making it 5-5 at 15 minutes. 24 minutes in, Bryce Campbell goes in, set up by Paul Lasike, and stretches over for a try that was converted to make it 12-5. Blaine Scully argued for a penalty try when hit in the air in goal. That wasn't given. And then Scully was in at the corner, but that was called back because the ball was turned over illegally by John Quill. So then 2 try-scoring opportunities. Twice the USA has been held up in goal, including right at the end of the first half. And perhaps that decision to keep it in that maul rather than send it out wide could be questioned. But it'd be very interesting to be a fly on the wall in the locker room this halftime. Well, as the USA takes the field, we have seen Taufete and Paul Lasike keyed on a little bit, but the Eagles using it. There's one of the try scorers, Ruben de Haas, getting his second try for the USA in his career. We did see an early change. In fact, it was a change before kickoff. Will McGee coming in to start at fly half in place of Will Hooley, who is a late scratch. And we didn't get word on who is on the bench in place of McGee. There's Blaine Scully with the black eyes because he broke his nose last week with the gauze stuffed up his nose. But he went in, touched down, a clean counterattack try, but called back because of an illegal steal by John Quill. There's Gary Gold with Greg McWilliams to your left, talking over what they talked over in the locker room. And Justin, gotta execute close to the line.
Yes, have to be able to utilize the good field position and come away with points. Again, the field conditions today very muddy and short. That's the reason why the Eagles have decided to opt against going with the scrum. So I think the interesting thing that we talked about during the half, though, Alex, is why not just go for some points here? Because they should be up by a much wider margin.
Still a man up because of a yellow card is the USA. Just about 90 seconds, 80 seconds left in that yellow card advantage.
Tackle now.
Going into contact, that is Motsok, the captain. Pass back into the 22. And Romania using the boot quite a bit, hoping to force a mistake. Brache. Well, he just sends it in, hits a little bit of grass. And the chase was on. Under it now, Mattias. And another kick. Again, looking to try and force a mistake. Perhaps
Keep coming.
force a turnover on that tackle. The chase better by the USA. McGee sends it high. Brache chases. Sergu. He is held up. Referee says it's a maul. And can the USA turn this one over? Cam Dolan turning into a bit of an expert on this. And that will be a turnover for the USA. And Florin Surju got his knee down, but by the time he did, the referee had said it was a maul.
One of the things that we saw right there, Taufete not happy with the Romanian player. Not want to get the big man mad, but here you'll get a good look at the penalty here.
Surju saying, hey, I'm on the ground, but referee says no, that was a maul, so that will be turnover for the USA. A little bit of face-to-face work between the hookers, Taufete and Radoy. And down for a scrum. And scrum problems for the USA. They were looking good. They were forcing some problems, and then a couple of penalties.
Bind. Set.
This one packs down adequately. De Haas straight out to Lasike. Lasike into Fonavai, back on the field after the yellow card. Quill shrugs off Fonavai and goes forward. Taufete'e gets that on the gallop. Slow ball, very slow ball. McGee now has it. Looking to use Dolan. Out wide now, quick hands. Scully gets it flat-footed. See how many times he's had to struggle through traffic. But that inside ball from Quill. And that was Peterson. We've seen him run the ball a lot. Lamizatelli out the back door. Brahe, a little bit alone, but Lasike is there to clear out. DeHaas to McGee. McGee has a hole. He sends it to Campbell instead. Taufete'e again. He's got his front row mates, Mullen and Lamizatelli, with him. Scully. Well, he's going to kick through. Chase after it. That could be useful. Malente. And Romania managed to get out of trouble there and kick to touch. Perhaps, well, not kick to touch, kick downfield. Mattias has it. He's got Brahe with him. Opts to keep it. Maybe a little moment of frustration from the captain with that kick ahead. And back comes USA. Once again, just working those phases, getting those one or two players over the ball. Lasike almost dropped it. He just gets through that first tackler just about every time, doesn't he? Campbell straight into trouble with Chirika, the number 8. Lasike now. Once again, gets them going forward.
Canadians really shored up their tackling here to start off the second half. It's still early though. The U.S. known as a very well-conditioned team. Let's see if Romania can keep up with that type of pace though.
Kick ahead. Back again with the kick from the Oaks. Campbell. Got John Quill with him. And USA certainly forcing the tackles. And the offload. Lock to lock. Peterson to Savetta. DeHaas needs some help. After all that is the two big slow guys. And Lamborn with the catch and pass.
Off now, 7. Clear release.
Bryce Campbell, but that no one was home there when the ball was won in the ruck. Kicked downfield. McGee. Not held. Just barely got out of trouble there. Brocky, and back comes the USA. It was looking promising there with that break from Peterson and Savetta. And the box kick. First box kick we've seen. This one bounces around. Mattias has it. This is what he loves right here. Open field. This could be it. Ryan Mattias in for the try. The box kick pays off. USA scores a try they really needed. And Justin, we talked about them giving up tries at the beginning of the second half. This time, it is the USA comes away with the first points on the second period.
It's nice when it works out the opposite way, especially if you are a U.S. fan. But you'll see it here on the replay. The Eagles, the benefactors of this fortune here, as it took a bounce right into the hands on the way in. But this is something that the United States has benefited from throughout most of the 2018 autumn internationals, is just taking advantage of mistakes, taking advantage of when the ball actually does bounce their way, and getting a try here early on. That's really going to boost their confidence for the rest of this contest.
Mattias had proven himself a bit of a quite a good open field runner. Hurt himself a little bit going down on that ball. Hurt himself in a tender part of his body. Not happy there, but he's got to be happy with that try. The box kick, as you said, Justin, last week produced a try. Again, if nobody puts a name on it, bounces around, it can land in a favorable pair of hands for the USA. Hanko Hermiche scored a try last week that way. Mattias scored a try. Right now makes it 17-5. That's a big lead for the USA. McGee with the conversion attempt. It is good. That makes it a 14-point game, 19-5. USA leads. Ryan Mattias, even though the USA had been 0-3 at the America's Pacific Challenge with the USA Selects team, Mattias had shown a lot of success with his open field running, but I think he's actually going to the sideline after that tackle.
Very uncomfortable after scoring that try. 6'1", wearing the cap for the Eagles.
Deep restart, kick back to Haas is going to kick to touch. Haas showing a lot of poise in this game. Seemed like he struggled a little bit last week, trying to just catch up to the rhythm of the game, but much more comfortable. We see some fans. It's a very happy little fan to see some rugby here in Bucharest.
Cold, muddy conditions on the pitch. It's made for an exciting game. Lots of whereabouts of where the ball is going to be.
Another line-out steal for the USA. Taufete'e dives onto it. It's a steal where they have to backpedal several meters. Peterson, he's had a strong game today, especially with the carries. And once again, slow ball coming out. De Haas with the box kick. Under it, Dumitru. And Ply looking to get somewhere with it. Lambourne can't quite bring him down. And there's a substitute scrum half. Kalafetanu.
Not now.
And he kicks it downfield. Romania still looking to try and gain some ground. Mattias, he's back repaired. Happy to see that. But runs himself into touch. And somewhat of a basic error. As any coach will tell you, one of the first things you end up telling, say, football players as they learn rugby is, don't run out of bounds, that's a turnover.
I learned that on day one of practice the hard way. I'll never forget. I haven't since.
They've given you pretty good time, haven't they, so far?
Miscommunication
Just wait and
inside
see.
the head there mentally.
I'll always give you time. Yeah.
Romania can now take advantage of the good field position.
You think they're going to maul it? Seems like they might maul it.
It seems rather likely. The way that Romania has been able to play, at least starting off this half, they looked really strong in the forwards and the attack. Their tackling was very sure, so they can win this lineup. That's another thing.
Well, Savine's throw not quite on target, and they needed it to be on target, and then a knock forward. Taufete'e, what he has been doing, we've seen him chase around on loose balls on the lineup. There have been turnovers, and here one that's just a bit of an overthrow or a late lift, and it's his hit that forces the knock on.
We talked about true players, a person that could probably play anywhere if it wasn't for his height. Joe Taufete'e, he could play any position on the pitch. He's the size of a number 2, but he really has the wheels of a 10.
Well, Mattias goes off the field.
Same again, patience.
And we will have a sub come on him. Haven't seen yet. I would guess it was Gannon Moore. Wing for wing. Lots of subs come on for Romania. They brought on Savine. They brought on Pristavica. And a left-footed kick from Lasike. That was a really, there is more chasing onto it, and that was a pretty useful touch finder from the former BYU football player. And the line out is one stolen, tapped back by Savetta and then lost. Referee says play on. Lambourne to Lamasatelli. And the Saracens prop does well to get forward. Lasike, the dummy. Oh, he's feeling his oats now, and that offload off the ground. Moore somehow tries to control it. Referee says play on.
Play on, play on.
And somehow there wasn't a knock on in there. And then Campbell trying to chip through. What was he thinking there? It's a turnover. Kick downfield. Moore, the only one there to gather that ball.
Okay.
Gets it out to Cam Dolan. Dolan to Bryce Campbell. Now the ball's moving. Taufete'e, Lasike had Scully outside.
Time off.
Go
It's a
back to
serious
some-
injury to his leg. I've been told we'll restart with a scrum, blue ball.
Well, there, very clear from the referee, serious injury. And that
Yeah,
looks like Tony Lambourne, and they're going to stop play because of an injury, and it's going to be
Okay.
it's going to be a scrum to the USA, but Tony Lambourne looks into some considerable pain. As we wait for Hanko Hermoshe, is certainly going to come back, come in for him. I hope that Lambourne is not as serious
13 minutes gone,
we were
Andy.
worried about, but you see that tackle. Didn't seem anything in there. He just grabbed his leg. But this was that craziness. Tap back. And David Ainuu coming on for TT Lamazatelli. Two players who played their high school rugby in the state of Washington. Lamazatelli up at Chuckanut. Ainuu with Liberty High School.
There's a chance of getting line break, and I didn't want it too long.
Well, this is going to be a big loss for the U.S. if Lambourne cannot continue on. He's still getting tended on that. Looked to be right angle when he went down. It looked like the Romanian player kind of rolled on him on the way down. Still in considerable pain as he's now talking, but you get a good look of some of the highlights here of what we have seen thus far. Again, muddy field conditions as you see the lads trying to clear up some ground on the bottom of those shoes. But the Americans
Change behavior.
pretty much been on the front foot here in the second half of play.
Ruben De Haas, the youngster. There's Nick Savetta trying to fix his contact lens, which this if you don't work with contact lenses, you're going to cringe at this. He just puts it in his mouth. He waits for somebody to come with some water there. So he held it in his mouth until he could get some saline solution to fix it. Don't try this at home. Hygienically, probably not the good thing, but at the same time, you don't get dirt and everything over it if you keep it in your mouth. So contact lens people, I'm a lifelong contact lens user. Yeah, that is one of the, that's your secret shame right there, is working the contact lenses. He uses the soft ones. I've got the hard ones, which you can just wash off with a little bit of water out of the squeeze bottle, but they're also pretty unforgiving. So we're waiting for treatment on Tony Lambourne. USA players trying to stay loose while that's happened. This has been a very physical game. Paul Lasike, we saw him put the boot to it. That was an interesting situation, and somewhat good news. They've patched up Tony Lambourne. They brought the stretcher out, but he says he doesn't want the stretcher. They booted him up, and they're going to carry him off, but he's going to be on his left leg, and he's a tough customer, is Tony Lambourne, and certainly could imagine him saying that if there's any way for him not to be stretchered off, he'd like not to. And he probably saw that there were no wheels on that stretcher and said, you know, you're going to carry me? No, I don't think so. Last thing he wants is to be dropped. Hermoshe's try scorer last week comes on for Lambourne. Probably might have been maybe 10 minutes earlier than intended. But the USA gets a scrum because they had the ball when play was stopped because of this injury. Referee Craig Maxwell Keys taking control of the game in that situation, making the decision to stop the game because of an injury.
Not too much lean, please. Thanks. Trying to help you. No problem. Sorry, lads. Yeah.
Well, we've only seen
Crouch.
substitutions by the USA based on injury. Hermichet's in at flanker, Moore in for Mattias at wing. Drive from USA, able to just get it out. McGee kicks deep, the chase is on. Brocky, Moore likes his chances. Ball is still alive. No, it is called into touch and is just dragged into touch by Zaharia. And that was all about the chase by Moore. They won't take that quick line out. Just touched it before he stepped into touch. Tried to keep it in there. That was a close call. Assistant referee was right there. So a line out for the USA. We've seen several of these line outs just a few meters from the Romanian line. And the first half ended with just one of these. Ball held up. Another substitution for Romania. Well, that one lost. Civetta couldn't get the handle on it, and Romania gets it. Box kick free, and it'll be another line out for the USA, but another really strong try-scoring opportunity given away by the Americans.
Just there, stay there.
Peterson not quite able to get up there. Loose ball rescued by Savine. Ply trying to work with his captain, Motzok. Ply again, the chip over the top. The gather, oh, it was on for Romania. Hermichet's, his first touch of the ball. Offloads it to Lasike. Peterson inside to Ainu. Still a teenager, playing at Toulouse in France. You can watch him play on Flow Rugby with our coverage of the top 14. Big wide pass this time. Dolan tries to get it off to Gannon Moore, and that one just sort of rolled into touch.
Oh, just off the shoulder. Time off. It was off the shoulder there.
Felt it.
So put the ball down, please. Thank you.
A lot of these players feeling these tackles. It is chilly, a chilly fall day in Romania. You can see the breath a little bit. It is that cold.
Okay, time back on.
Joe Taufete'e takes a rest. Dylan Fawcett comes on. Gary Gold managing his personnel. Dolan well taken. Once again, Romania just lying on the ground, allowing that maul to just sort of fall over. The Eagles have it now. Ainu. DeHaas sticks it out. McGee now with Brocky. Cuts back inside. It's a little bit go forward. Ball a little bit quicker for the USA. Out wide, Hermichet's. He's got a little bit of space. Dishes it off. Bryce Campbell, can he get his second? Yes, he can. Bryce Campbell in for a try. A try the United States has been trying to get for several minutes. And it came with just a little bit quicker ball out of the breakdown. And that caused a gap. Hanko Hermichet's, and you'll see right there, the skip pass breaks through that little gap, offloads just as he's hit. Bryce Campbell only too happy to finish it off, make it 24-5.
It's fine for me.
And two USA age grade veterans.
I'll let them stay up there.
Bryce Campbell played with Royal Irish in Indianapolis, won a national championship there. Hanko Hermichet's from the west side in Omaha, Nebraska. And the Eagles get a try that makes it 19-point lead with the kick to come. And it just seemed like cutting back on the little kicks and the little grubbers and just running those phases, getting a little bit more aggressive and getting that ball out quickly allowed for that try to come through.
Thanks, Andy.
McGee with the kick. And the wind, you saw the wind just took that to the left. So it'll stay 24-5 at 57 minutes. A little bit of breathing room for the USA. Look at that offload. Campbell able to outpace Kirika in at the wing.
Okay, time back on.
Romania will have to start thinking tactically what they should be doing, because they've been kicking the ball a great deal, and all that's doing is giving the ball back to the United States. Blaine Scully, so good at just buying time for his forwards. But they've turned it over, bounced off a player's foot, and Romania has it. Finally an attacking chance for the Oaks.
The ball is there.
Back on the left side, Dumitru.
Release.
Digging it out. Kalafetanu.
Not now.
There's Ply. Skips Mozok. Looks for Fonovai. Fonovai really likes to run with it. Going at a little bit of an angle. Ilsheku. Offload. That could be a try for Romania. Zaharia. Vladut Zaharia in at the corner. They're going to check it, but it looked good from here.
Do you think we need to have that? Looks like we probably do.
And Razvan Ilsheku.
Andy, my on-field decision is going to be a try, but we just want to make
He's
sure
the one
that
who
the player
just
that
broke
picked up
through.
the ball from the last breakdown is actually onside when he picks up the ball, please.
Well, that was the
on-field
concern,
decision
though,
try,
was
checking offside of the
Ilisheshku
player who picked the ball up from the breakdown.
Yes, please. And
might
then
have been
he
in an
offloads
offside
it.
position when he
stand
picked
by.
up the ball, and this somewhat similar to that try in the same corner in the first half where Blaine Scully scored, and
If
they
it's
were
a ruck, any
concerned about the
contact on ball,
turnover.
We're looking for both feet behind the ball. And also if he's bound in, he can't pick up the ball full stop.
Coming back to Andrew McMenemy, the TMO. Ilisheshku, there's the ball at the back of the ruck, but then it just sort of shows up in Ilisheshku's hands. But really, did we see any definitive offside play there? There's the ball. Well, it seemed like
Okay, Christoph, I have a
Ilisheshku
decision for you.
is the last man in the ruck.
Yellow 20 is in front of the ball. He reaches back, so he's in an offside position.
Okay, thank you very much. So no try, restart with penalty.
Well, there you go. You can see that angle showed it. The ball was behind him, and in fact,
Okay.
Kalafeanu
No try.
touched the ball. No try.
Back, so he's
Offside against Romania. A let-off for the USA, because that was a try that had the potential to really close things up with 20 minutes to go. Well, we've had the TMO come in. We had the ball held up in goal twice. We had a potential penalty try, which really wasn't that likely. Canceled by the TMO, and then another try called back by the TMO. So USA looking at who else they can bring on. I see David Tamilau getting his warm-ups off.
Changes. 4.
Tamilau comes on for Greg Peterson. And that will be Glasgow Warrior for Glasgow Warrior.
Time on.
Peterson, huge game today. Fawcett up for Dolan. Out quickly. DeHaas lofts the ball. 2 USA players under it. And that will be a penalty against the USA for offside. One of the chasers was offside. Not retreating, in fact. And it looks so promising for the Eagles, but Ply will now kick to touch.
Sorry, on the 10 over here. Okay. TMO says the mark's on the 10. Sorry.
Go back to the point of the kick. Apply kicks to touch, and it'll be an attacking lineup for Romania. So back again we come with Romania looking to get that crucial try back. If they get a converted try, even if they get an unconverted try, they'll be within 2 scores.
Six scores.
As we wait for the ball to get taken out of that tree where it's stuck. Hopefully they have a second ball. Yes, they do. Didn't really work very hard to get it out of that tree. Overthrow. Who has it? Fawcett does very well to retain that ball. Hit by Fonovai. And there's Hermiches.
Tackle!
Passing it back and just kicking downfield.
Now on 19.
Now they have it. Zaharia, the almost try scorer, chipped ahead. Gathered by American hands.
Wait. Ball out.
And DeHaas too slow to do something with it. The ball was out.
First man.
Really, he needed someone standing over that ball. So he's tackled, and it is a turnover for Romania. Motzok goes straight into Quill and Ainu. Calafiano passing off. Once again, DeHaas struggling, potential injury.
Stay there.
USA only has 14 to defend this.
No,
Kapatsana.
Good work.
Now the big man, Drenchanu. So setting up their defense pretty quickly. Motzok again. So many options for the Romanians at this point. Chirica. And now it's a maul, so it's held up. USA has a chance for a turnover. Romania needs it. And no, they're not able to get that ball through. And once again, the USA forwards force a turnover by holding up a ball carrier. That physical strength, that upper body strength, something they've been working on to make sure that you can keep a player who might be 250, 260 pounds
for 3, 4, 5 seconds
from dragging down onto the ground. Cam Dolan once again right in the middle. Steve Waldron coming on. Now it's a fully replaced front row for the USA. And the chances are that we'll see a replacement at scrum half. Ruben DeHaas was looking in some distress. No, he's back.
Stand up, please.
Up,
You just need
ready
a bit
to
more
go.
space for him to get his head in, please. Okay. Yeah, we'll do. Just allowing that space,
clearing
please.
off the cleats. We talked about the mud.
Crouch. Bind.
And a penalty against the USA.
It's the third one now.
Binding in,
Scrum.
pushing in too early. So Romania wants the scrum
They
back.
don't have to take it. You need to balance your own weight.
And there's the explanation from Craig Maxwell Keys when he says crouch and bind. You're not supposed to engage. You're not supposed to set until you're told to. He said they don't have to take it. They don't have to take that engagement. You have to support your own weight until it's time.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
And a penalty against the USA.
Reset to
Collapsing down. Ainu went straight down.
Yes.
And what Romania wants,
Scrum. Scrum call.
most likely, is a yellow card and a penalty try at this point.
Let's go, lads. Step up.
Hey. We're going. Fast. This is ridiculous. Let's go, pass.
4 penalties by the USA in the scrum. Something they want to avoid now.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
From Calafiano. The drive. And a penalty against the USA. wheeling this time. We'll see what we get here.
This is your warning. That's 2 against you just here. The next one, you're going to the bin. Scrum called. We'll come across.
See
Here you go,
the
lads.
wheel
Just it.
pulling on one side, driving in on the other. USA has a warning now, very specific. If there's a penalty, there's going to be a sin bin. Now you wonder if Romania can just take this scrum down.
Focus and get in. Hang on, stand up, lads, please. Stand up, because we're at different spaces, both sides. Okay? We need the same spacing, please.
Moment for the referee, Craig Maxwell
go
Keys,
Do whatever you say.
That's fine. We'll just sit in the scrum.
and Dylan Fawcett. I'll do whatever you say, which is probably the right thing and a typical Dylan Fawcett thing to say right there. Whatever you want. Yes, sir.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Romania going for the driver. No, they're going to go for the pickup. And that's Ilishishku.
Tackle now, tackle. Let go.
Picking up and going now. Simple, brutal stuff. Straight ahead. Ilishishku again.
Both feet behind the ball. Play on.
USA has to be careful to stay on
Not now,
side.
Brew, not now, Brew.
There's a gap right there on the left
Good
for the
work,
Romanians.
Back foot.
Right next to the post. Motzok lost it forward. And the hit by Campbell and Savetta. But it was a bit of a high pass, and Motzok just couldn't quite control it.
Lads, number 5, change. 5.
So we're going to see another substitution coming on.
It's a knock-on scrum.
And Mariusz Eftimichuk coming on for Romania. But you see there the ball lost forward.
Much better scrum.
Double hit. It was actually Brockie and Campbell
Oh, what? That's not
helping
my fault.
force that.
I didn't pick it.
He hasn't been in the championship, sir.
Fair enough.
He's seen the shit in the championship, you know.
No one has.
Now we're back with a scrum down. This time USA, but they're only 5 meters from their line. Certainly the incentive is to keep that scrum up. And you'll see that the USA is actually positioned in a defensive alignment. McGee is right on the try line. Nasike a little bit further back, but there's the drive. The ball coming out,
Played away.
rescued by Savetta. Nick Savetta, can he go all the way? Maybe not.
Advantage, knock on.
And knocked forward and lost that offload, that last offload, perhaps a bridge too far for the USA. Fonovai gets it for Romania. The Oaks back again.
High tackle advantage. High tackle.
They have a penalty advantage as well. Plenty of ball to work with. The USA under the gun as they've been for the last 10 minutes or so. And it'll be a high tackle. We'll see if Romania choose to just kick for posts. We haven't not even seen an attempted goal, a penalty attempted goal in this game, which is very, very rare. Everything has been lineouts and scrums, and they're going to go for the scrum once more.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, time off. Time off. I'll just check.
Getting
Andy,
a
can you
time
tell us
off
the
for
time, please?
digging mud out of the
We're
boots.
6 to 8 minutes, 45 seconds. You've got 11 minutes, 15 to go.
11 minutes, 50 to go. Okay, just here.
Okay, we're ready. All right, Dave.
Just cleaning off, making sure that everybody has the right footing. This is the sort of game in the old days you would have screwed in your longer studs. Get that purchase, makes you a little bit slower around the field.
Bind. Set.
Drive from the USA. Romania that pack capitulated. Suddenly the USA team felt that they had it. Nick Savetta likes it.
About 11 minutes.
You see the drive over. Just Romania never had any purchase on that one.
Just make sure.
And you hear Blaine Scully say, make sure, just make sure you get to touch. And that is exactly what Will McGee does.
Line jaws, please, yellow.
Just about 10 minutes left. USA leads 24-5. The Pershing Cup Challenge Trophy between Romania and the USA. Romania holds it right now, having won 2 years ago here in Bucharest. Savetta. Alden has it now.
Tackle! Let go, tackle! Lash!
Calling the let go tackle, and we don't see any let go. But the USA has it again. Fawcett. Inside to Waldron. And kicking for territory, McGee. The chase is on from Hermeshes, but he's wrong-footed very nicely. I think that was Zaharia. Been a useful wing for Romania. It seems like the USA will take the trade-off and the field position. And the kick, Calafeanu. Moore. Needs to run it back. Tamalau. Makes it about 1.5 meters, gets it to midfield. Brochy. We've seen him cutting back a great deal in this game. Maybe that lack of confidence in being able to just test that leg, but he's isolated, and it's going to end up being a penalty against the USA for holding on to the ball in the tackle.
Yeah, of course.
Fighting to get that ball so they can get it quickly. Hermeshes having none of it. A couple of pushes. De Haas struggling with a cramp, I think. That's a little tap of encouragement from
Really good outcome.
Tangimana Fonavai. No. And another player stretching out a cramp.
There's 2 players down, lads. Blue who?
This has been the second half, very much stop
9 and
start
12, lads.
early on.
USA.
A lot of open field play
9 and 12.
from the USA, and they got that try from Mattias and then followed it up with a really nice try from Bryce Campbell, his second of the day. But since then, a lot of penalties, a lot of scrums, and a fang-tooth mouth guard there from Fonavai. And Nick Boyer comes on to replace Ruben De Haas, the Cal product, former USA age grade player, as was De Haas, and Boyer gets his first cap for the USA. Well over 6 feet. Pretty tall for a scrum half.
Hang on.
He's a very physical scrum half as well.
Hang on,
as
hang
a
on.
result.
Hang on. Just wait for him to get off, because if you have wide ball, then he's just going to be in the way.
I love referee Maxwell Keys. He explains exactly what he's thinking, why he's making a call. And back to the action, stolen once again by the USA. Scully dives onto it.
Not now, yellow, let go!
He's isolated, but he's fortunate really that USA was just there enough to rescue it. Hermeshes just stays in field. You hear Dolan say, boys, let's get out of here. Meaning, let's kick it.
Wait.
Boyer with the box kick. And he makes touch. Doesn't get a lot of ground, but perhaps enough.
Here you go, boys. Step off then, please.
Aaron Michet's there, almost dragged into touch, but you see how he managed to get out of problems. Rotate around. Tamalau right over him.
7, I think they call.
This one well taken by Romania, setting up the maul. They have momentum. And a knock forward. Just a little bit of knock on, and Romania really, it was on for them there. Chirica looks up at the sky. What do I have to do at this point?
Okay, time off, please.
Tudor, Boldor,
14, change. I'll
coming
find
on
out.
in the back line.
Andy, what you got on time?
Just over 6 minutes.
6 minutes.
This game, I think for the referee, it feels like it's been going on for a while, but there's just been so many stoppages for injuries, stoppages for
Can I play?
cramps, and substitutions,
Box here.
and a lot of scrums and resets. So this will be a scrum for the USA.
There's been no problem.
Big moment for Nick Boyer, going to have to control that ball. See how tall he is.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Stay!
That scrum unable to stay steady and secure.
Yeah, we just need to get our gaps
Gonna
better
reset
so
that
both
one.
teams can get in. Same again, let's reset.
Okay.
Shoulders out, gap, please.
That's on the mark, yeah?
Yes, please.
Come to the mark.
Well, there has to be some space, come on.
And they're talking about whether there's enough space or too much space. And if you have too much space, then the props aren't able to engage their shoulders properly. Hear the negotiation. So much talking.
Stay! Stay!
Prop loves more than a good conversation. Picked up by Cam Dolan. This works out for the USA.
No, no, no.
Boyer digs it out. Dylan Fawcett now. Caught kind of flat-footed. Quill. USA content to just bash it up. Now setting up that box kick again. A little bit more protection for Boyer. Kick high. Decent chase as Romania comes back with Popa. And Boldor, the new guy. Well, he's taken down by Campbell.
Away now, Blue.
And the drive over by the USA. And they're going to get a penalty for that. Tamalau came in, and Valentin Calafatiano had no choice but to dive on the ball. And he is penalized for that. And the USA get a penalty. Just about 4.5 minutes left in this game.
No, it's not, no.
And an opportunity perhaps
Just over 4.
to
Just
just
over
put a
4.
little icing on the cake for the USA. Get another try. They were able to score somewhat early in the
Step
first
out,
half.
Please, Gold. Yellow, step.
Ruben de Haas scoring at the 11th minute. 4 minutes later, they gave up a try, and then Bryce Campbell scored. But last 15 minutes of that first half, they had so many chances they didn't get. Civetta takes this. The maul is set by the USA.
Break away.
And Fawcett now breaks out. The maul is over. Eagles closer.
Goal release.
Tamalau.
Tackle!
Just surging closer to the line, driven back. Boyer gets it out again. And out wider this time, Fawcett. McGee now chipping over for the wing. Again and more, excuse me. Tim Maupin going in, and that is a try for the USA. The kick to the wing finally worked out. And Maupin, who was called into the 23 because of Hooley's injury, touches down, gets that try.
How much time, Andy?
Yeah, he was able to do that. He's done that more than once. Just in the last second call-up, he's still been the man in the right place at the right time, and that was a perfect little lofty kick, no one to cover him, and Tim Maupin goes in.
Yeah, we saw them trying to utilize the same type of play with Scully. Scully unable to get the try, but Maupin, I mean, how is that for coming on a little late and getting a try here late in the game?
Romanian coverage telling
Yeah,
us
if you
it's
need to,
Gannon
yeah.
Moore, but that's because of the squad list
He asked me.
and the late changes. And a nice finish for the USA to get out of trouble, make their way down the field. And McGee able to use the wind this time. You remember the last time when it was blown away, 31-5 for the USA.
Thank you.
Take another look at this one. Wind still takes it to the
130.
left, but he planned for it. 3 conversions for McGee. And the ball not kicked 10.
Knock on. You
And
chose
the USA
to play it.
played it.
All right, fine. Knock on, lads. You chose to play it.
The ball not 10. If the receiving team plays it, well then it's good. It just play on, and it was
you
knocked
choose to
forward
play
by
it,
the
it's your
USA. So it'll
choice.
be a scrum to Romania.
He didn't.
Okay, no worries. Then we go. Hold the hit, then we go. Stand here, be smart. Stand here, be smart. Come on, Dave. Hey! Go!
Romania hoping to get one last scoring opportunity.
Bind.
They look so dangerous
Set.
out wide early on. They had numbers. Here come the Oaks. Squad on the outside. They haven't really gone outside in the same way. Still looking to cut back in. USA defense has been strong inside. And there's the kick. And that may roll dead. And that indeed will roll dead. And that'll be a scrum back from the point where it was kicked. And we are very close to the end of this game. It has been a long, tiring game. It is cold. It is physical. The scrummaging has been demanding.
Okay.
Several of these players put in a full day at the office.
Sorry.
Can't forget Bryce Campbell's 2 tries. He's got to be happy with that. Cam Dolan, massive game for the USA. John Quill working hard in defense.
Watch the hit now, lads. Remember, they don't have it. They don't have it.
Paul Lasike has had several moments.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
And a penalty against Romania. Dragging that ball down, and so it'll be tapped and then kick to touch. That's going to be your ball game. United States 31, Romania 5. The Pershing Cup comes back to the USA, and a very, very nice win for the Eagles. This is their 9th test match win in 2018 with no losses. Never happened before, never even come close before for the USA, and a pretty solid performance, up and down at moments in the first half, but keeping Romania out of the try zone for most of the game. Justin, what do you think?
Well, the Oaks definitely had their chances come the second half, but the scrumming just so uneven with the footing. And Romania, the Oaks not able to take advantage of the chances, but give props to the Eagles. I mean, taking out the number 16 team in the nation, or in the world, getting 2 straight wins over some very hard opposition. And this has to be a great feeling for the Eagles, getting ready for Japan come 2019. If they could continue playing like the way that they have played, showing out the talent, it seems like we might be able to make a pretty decent run this year, or this coming World Cup.
One more game left this year with Ireland coming up. A lot of smiles, and there'll be a trophy presentation coming up as we wait for the USA to come and get the Pershing Cup. John J. Pershing, General of the Armies of the United States, commanded the United States Expeditionary Force in World War I, received the Order of Michael the Brave from the country of Romania, and had a connection. He had a long-time relationship with a well-known Romanian artist, and he and she married later in life. But in addition, John Pershing commissioned a military games, an Olympic Games in 1919 to mark the end of World War I. And at that game, United States played Romania in a rugby game that the USA won. This is why this is the Pershing Cup. It's an American hero who's also held in very high esteem in Romania. It is something, a note of respect from the Romanian people to the United States. It has been played for only in Romania at this moment. And the USA won the Pershing Cup the first 2 times around. Last time, 2 years ago, 23-10, Romania won. And here, Blaine Scully is presented with the Pershing Cup in what ended up being a pretty convincing performance, 31-5, the United States over Romania. Some happy players there, a couple of players carrying injuries. Nice to see Sean Davies smiling there. Samu Manoa. All smiles, all cheers. And after so many close games, there's Dave Hodges, who has had his moments with the Romanians as a player and is now general manager with the USA team. And the USA, ARC champions, won 3 games in June, beating Russia, Scotland, and Canada. They lost a non-test game to Maori All Blacks. It's the only game they've lost so far this year, and then beat Samoa last week. You can see that game on Flow Rugby. Beat Romania here this week. You can see that game on demand, and we've seen it live just now. For Justin Simmons, I'm Alex Goff. You've been watching the USA versus Romania here on Flow Rugby, and we will see you next time.